Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's long-anticipated visit to China, his first in 7 years, comes at a moment of shifting regional power. Washington has turned to tariffs against India. Beijing is deepening ties with Moscow while balancing its costly partnership with Pakistan. And Russia has broken precedent by recognizing the Taliban government in Kabul. Our analysis shows that this visit is less about reconciliation and more about recalibration, revealing how India, China, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and the United States are repositioning themselves in a fluid Eurasian order where old dependencies are collapsing and new corridors of influence are taking shape. The reversal of maps. Afghanistan's quiet ascendancy and Pakistan's waning leverage history has a sly habit of flipping the tables on its players. For decades, Pakistan enjoyed the singular privilege of being South Asia's indispensable corridor, the one artery through which the great powers, from Washington to Beijing, sought access to the markets and minerals of Central Asia. Afghanistan, by contrast, was cast as the dependent neighbor, a landlocked appendage surviving on Pakistani ports and Pakistani patience. But in the shifting geography of Eurasian politics, the old hierarchy is dissolving. The once gateway finds itself knocking, and the once dependent is learning to choose. The catalyst is not merely Afghanistan's own recalibration, but the larger tectonics of global power. China has loosened its already thin ties to Washington and sunk itself deeper into Moscow's embrace, less out of romance than necessity. Energy, sanctions, and technological partnership have created a pragmatic bond. Russia, bruised by Western ostracism, found in Kabul's Taliban government a useful partner, formally recognizing it in July 2025, thereby clearing a path for others to follow. India, long the West's natural partner, has shown that strategic autonomy is not just a slogan, but a governing doctrine. Buying Russian oil at discount, spurning American tariffs, and quietly easing the temperature with Beijing. And the United States? It watches its sanctions regime lose teeth, its tariff wars alienate rather than discipline, and its Indo-Pacific strategy undermined by the very allies it sought to bind. Amid this rearrangement, Afghanistan has been repositioned on the map. Long treated as an afterthought or a pawn, Kabul is emerging as a corridor that others must pass through. New roads are being cut through the Wakhan corridor, linking Xinjiang directly to Afghan soil. The Kaf-Herat Railway is pulling Afghanistan westward into Iran and, through Tehran, to the Mediterranean. Northern routes are tying Kabul back into the fabric of Central Asia. Each line of track, each carved road reduces the need for Pakistani mediation. Where once Islamabad could claim to be the bridge, it is now bypassed. Pakistan, for its part, is ensnared in contradictions of its own making. The much-trumpeted China-Pakistan economic corridor, flagship of Beijing's Belt and Road, has become both costly and vulnerable. Militants strike Chinese engineers in Balochistan with deadly regularity. Insurance costs skyrocket, budgets slip, timelines stretch. The IMF stalks Islamabad with exacting demands, while ordinary Pakistanis drown in inflation. Yet, paradoxically, Pakistan's generals continue their flirtation with Washington, cultivating military ties as if the Cold War never ended. But the Cold War has ended, and the choice to lean more heavily on America risks precisely what Islamabad cannot afford: China's suspicion and Afghanistan's resentment. For Afghanistan has changed. Its rulers may still be the Taliban, but their regional positioning is altogether different. With Moscow's recognition and Beijing's investments, Kabul now has a clutch of alternatives: eastward to China, westward to Iran, northward to Central Asia. Ports in Karachi and Gwadar remain useful but no longer essential. Indeed, the dependency has flipped. It is Pakistan that needs Afghanistan to reach the markets of Uzbekistan, to move goods north, to give its economy a breadth of transit it cannot find elsewhere. The Central Asian republics, too, tilt towards Afghanistan rather than Pakistan. Geography is the simplest reason. Kabul is nearer, more directly tied to their histories and economies, but politics counts as well. Pakistan, with its perpetual crises and oscillations, inspires little confidence. Afghanistan, even under Taliban rule, now offers multiple doors, and for investors and traders, optionality is its own form of stability. The losers in this quiet revolution are clear. America, once the master of sanctions and tariffs, has found its tools blunt and its influence receding. Pakistan, once the monopolist of regional connectivity, is reduced to supplicant. China and Russia, through patient, sometimes clumsy but persistent collaboration, emerge as architects of a new Eurasian fabric. India raises its stock by refusing to be anyone's client, and Afghanistan improbably appears not as a graveyard of empires, but as a hinge of the continent. It is a deep irony, but history delights in irony. The country long lectured as fragile, failed, or dependent is now indispensable. And the country that strutted as the only bridge must now approach that same neighbor, cap in hand, asking for passage. Afghanistan no longer needs Pakistan's mercy. It is Pakistan, in this new cartography, that must whisper, "Help us."